Hey, Chimicum Choirs, Miss G here. Today I'm going to take you through the 3 pages of our theory packet that are due at the end of the week. This is Learning Goals 37, 38, and 39. I just did this and for some reason the Zoom did not record, so I'll try not to be too quick since this is the second time I will have gone through this. I should be pretty good at it though, right? Already, guys, in the packet with the piano keyboard on the front, this is theory packet number 2, and this is what we've been working on in the last couple of weeks. The first week I had you work on lessons, learning goals 30, 31, and 32. We were just doing note naming and reviewing. Quick reminder, you only needed to do for your own clef. Treble clef for sopranos and altos, bass clef for tenors, basses, and baritones. For each page, you have a strategy, which is what you do for the top portion, or if you're baritone down here, and then you have a checkup. And the answers for checkup are all in the paragraph that is written above it, okay? So far we've done note review, and then we learned something called enharmonic notes, notes that sounded the same but looked differently, and that was number 32. Then we went into whole steps and half steps, and we were learning that in a major scale, the whole steps and half steps were between 3 and 4 and also 7 and 8, okay? We did more review of that, learned more about major scales and where the half steps are between 3 and 4 and 7 and 8. Then we went on and worked on a little bit more review of the same thing, the major scales, and trying to get you to envision where those whole steps and half steps were. And then finally we arrived today at minor scales, okay? So number 37 is where we are, learning goal 37. And it says minor scales. In a minor scale, 2 half steps are in a different place than the major scale. The formula for a minor scale is whole, half, whole, half, whole. In a major scale, the pattern is different. In a major scale, we already learned that it is whole, half, whole, half. In a minor scale, whole, half, whole, half, whole. And we're talking about whole steps and half steps. So on our learning goal number 37, it tells us in our strategy, above each note of the scale, write the numbers 1 through 8. So all I'm going to do is find my clef, whether I'm treble or bass. Not this one. This one has to do with the violin or viola or cello or bass, and we don't play those, so we don't need to worry about that center one. All we're doing is writing the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are the scale degrees above each one of those note patterns. So 1 through 8, go to the next one, number it, 1 through 8. Go to the next one, number it, 1 through 8, 1 through 8, for whichever one you need to do for your singing area. Once you put your numbers in, it says place a circle around both notes that are a half step apart. Remember, your half steps are 2, 3, 5, 6. So I go 1, 2, circle, 3, circle, 5, 6, don't circle 4, okay? So I only put a circle around 2 and 3, 5 and 6. So I'm counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I'm going to take, for my next number 3, it says put a half step symbol, which is one of these little mountain peaks. I'm going to put one of those above those 2 places. And that's it. I'm going to do it for each one of the scales in my clef. Once I finish that, then I go to my checkup. How many half steps are there in a 1 octave minor scale? Well, there's a half step, and there's a half step. 1, Hopefully you wrote down the number, right? 2. There's 2 of those. And then it says a half step is when there are blank possible notes in between 2 notes. Well, this is a review question. We've already answered this. When you have a half step, and we did it when we were looking at the major scale half steps, when you have a half step, and we are looking clear back to where it says half steps and whole steps, if you have to go back and look, please do. A half step occurs when there are no possible notes. So this is kind of a review of that same idea. And then it says, when there is room for, oops, I'm on the, that's not the right page. Are the half steps in the same place for major scales as they are for minor scales? Well, we just got done saying half steps are between 2 and 3 and 5 and 6 in a minor scale. And we said in major, it was between 3, 4, 7, 8. Not the same. So the answer is nada, no. And then they're going to ask you the question I just answered. What are the half steps? Where are the half steps in the major scale? Between 3 and 4 and How about the minor? Between and Okay? So hopefully you're going to do okay on that one. Now guys, before we do number 38, I would like to review with you the order of the sharps. That was flats and sharps at the same time. That comes out shaps. The sharps and the flats together, okay? The order of the sharps are F, C, G, D, A, E, B. That's the sharps. They're always in the same order. Do you remember the poem that we did for that? 5 cats got dizzy at Eddie's bar mitzvah. They're always the same. The order of the flats spell a word, and then we have a silly little thing to help us remember the last 3 letters. The word B-E-A-D spells bead. So the flat is bead, and then we have a G-C-F, and I call that juicy fruit. Kind of like juicy fruit, like the gum, but juicy fruit. Bead, juicy fruit. And then 5 cats got dizzy at Eddie's bar mitzvah, and that's the order of the sharps. That's important because we're going to have to write in our sharps on number 38. Here's the strategy. Write a minor scale on the staff beginning on each given note. So all you're doing is starting at the first pitch and writing in the next note around a line or a space as it goes in order. So if this is a space, this is a line. If this is a space, this is a line, space, line, space, line. And we know there are 8 of those. We already did count it to 8 on the page prior to this one. The first scale, A minor, does not have anything in the key signature, so it needs no sharps or flats. It's exactly the same as a C major scale. Every major scale has a relative minor, and it is a minor third lower than the major scale. So C major and A minor are the same scale, but they start on a different note. When they start on C major, they have kind of a happy sound. Here's a C major scale. I'm going to play it on my recorder. Here's C major. Nice happy scale. Here's A minor. I'm going to start on A. It's going to get pretty high. Let's see if I can do it. This is tricky. And you can hear it's kind of la-dee-da-da-da-da-dee-da, dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Has kind of a mysterious sound. Minor is kind of creepy. Okay, when you watch a scary movie, most of the songs you're hearing in the background are done with a minor scale. Okay, so A minor, C major, same notes, different order. Okay, then we have E minor. It starts on the note E. We're going to go up, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, line, space, but we're going to add the first accidental. It's a sharp. The first sharp in order must be what? F for 5, right? 5 cats, F. And so that note, E, the next note is going to be F, but we have to put a sharp in front of the note because it's part of the key. So E, F sharp G, A, B, C, D, and all the way up to E, and we stop at E because that's 8 pitches from one note to its next same pitch, okay? In the next key, we have 2 sharps. What are they going to be? 5 cats. And so it starts on a B, it's a B minor scale, so B, then a C, which is going to be a C you know what, sharp, E, F, what, sharp, G, A, B, and we get to the end of the scale. Okay, so we need to have in this scale a C sharp and an F sharp. You can see how I've written that in. Remember, your sharps come before your note when you're writing actual pitches. You do that for each one of these, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. You don't do the one in the middle, it's for the violins. If you're a tenor, bass, or baritone, you do the ones down here. They're exactly the same as they are at the top. A minor, E minor, B minor. Same order of flats and sharps. It's just that your notes are in a little different place, right? Because your scale degrees are a step lower when you're in bass clef. At the bottom on the checkup, remember, you're just answering questions that probably you've already answered before. They're starting to kind of get your brain kind of wrapping around, oh, this is the same thing. So it says, ascending means going up. Here they asked you to write the ascending going up scale only. Look, it says going up right there. It says going up right there. And then they're asking you to put in your whole and half steps for a minor scale. If you don't remember what that is, look back a page. Whole, half, whole, half, whole. That's what you're putting down here with your W and your H in order. I'm not giving you the answer. You've got to do your own work. All right. On number 39, the last learning goal for today, they're talking about minor scales again, and this one is called a natural minor scale. And they're introducing us, but not having us work yet, on 3 scales. The one we've done already is called natural minor. They're adding to that a harmonic minor and a melodic minor, and we're going to learn about all 3 of those. Natural minor scales are, like I said, they have a relative major. So C major, A minor. Okay? In this case, you're starting with a note that is on D, okay? And it says natural minor scale. Now, I'm looking at my key signature. I know it's a flat, so it's not going to have an F to start my order. Remember what it's going to be? The first flat, did you write these down? I hope you did, is B. You should write these down if you haven't done that yet. Okay? Because I got to know that. When I get to this page, I want to make sure and include my B flat. It starts on D. They didn't give us that answer this time, so we have to think, right? One note below the staff, the bottom note was an E, this is a D. So we're going D, E, F, G, A. What are we going to put in next? A B what? Flat. And then it stops on D. You might want to space that better than I did. Didn't do a very good job on that one. The next one starts on E, and I know it has one sharp, and that sharp is my first sharp in the order of sharps. You know it. It's an F for 5. And I know the relative major is 3 steps higher, so it starts on E, but my major scale would have been G. So I'm going to make sure I include my F sharp in my E minor scale as well as in my G major scale. So I'm going E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, and they gave me the top note of E. It says practice writing your natural minor scale beginning on the given note. Do only the ascending scale for your clef, and the key signature is given for you. I still want you to write in where your flat or sharp is for your key. And you only have one line to do. Same with the bass clef. It's exactly the same. It just starts a little bit lower. Remember that. Okay? And it looks like it starts higher, doesn't it? But this is actually a D. So it is exactly the same note. It just goes D, and then, let me show you guys because I don't want you to be confused. E, F, G, A, B flat, C, and then to D. I didn't make a very good F, so I had to fix that. So I'm just going up. Line, space, line, space, line, space. Don't forget my flat because there's my B, C, D. So if I go D, E, F, G, A, B flat, C, D. Just going up the scale. Remember, if I get to G, I have to start over again with A. Don't say H. Okay, at the bottom of that page, they're saying there are 3 types of minor scales. They've already told you what those 3 are right there, right in your answer. Then it says, the natural minor scale uses the given... We've been looking at those all year. I hope you get the answer right. And then it says, the natural minor scale uses the given blank blank with blank changes. In other words, it's the same as the major, so there are no changes. It's exactly the same. So natural minor is just like its relative major. All right? On the next page, which I'm not going to do today, but we'll do next week, we're going to learn about harmonic minor. And the reason it said no changes over here is because there are changes to the harmonic minor. You can see they raise the 7th degree of the scale. And we're going to learn how they do that next week, okay? I wish you a great weekend. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And I hope this recording works because the last one didn't. And if it did, yay, I'll get it uploaded for you. And hopefully you'll get your work turned in. I've been noticing that several of my students are choosing not to turn in their work. And I just want to help you to know that if you turn in your work, you get credit for it. If you don't turn in your work, it becomes an incomplete. And incomplete may sound like not such a bad thing because it's not going to hurt your grade, but you will have to make up that work when you return. So the more you get done now, the better shape you'll be in when we all get back to school. And I will be very, very sorry I got so close. I will be very happy to see you. All right. Have a great rest of your week. See you next time. Oh, don't forget to zoom in Wednesdays at 11:30 for the 9 through 12 and Thursdays at 11:30 for 7 and 8. Take care, guys. Bye.